You are welcome to lesson 2 of our VBA training, and in this lesson we are going to deal with the terminologies, some of the terms or terminologies in the VBA. So first of all, we have something called modules or modules. When you talk of modules, we are talking about area where area where code. Macro may be a new word to you, but we'll explain that one later. I will say modules is where there's code are written. So let's go to our VBA and see. So if you want to code anything, you need to create a module. Either the module can be a user form or just a module. So you go to insert, then insert a module. So if you insert a module, it will give you an access to your coding screen. So this is where the code will be. So any code that you enter here will be in the module 1, the first module here. So this is the module and the code will be here for you. So when you talk of modules, we are talking about the area where code can be written. Good. Now the next word is macros, and in this lesson we are going to be hearing the word macros frequently. So we need to explain the meaning of macro. When you talk of macro, it just means piece of code. The piece of code, and it's written in a programming language. Piece of code is written in a programming language. An example of like the VBA programming language. So macro is just a piece of code, and everything we are going to do here mostly is based on macros. We are going to write codes. So in VBA, when you're writing code, the code that you are writing is termed as macro. Okay. So macros too is an object-oriented program, or VBA is an object-oriented programming. As I said earlier, it deals with objects. So everything on this system is an object. It starts from the worksheet, and the workbook, the worksheet, the tabs, the labels, the buttons, the text boxes, the combo boxes, the list box, and others. All of them, they are all objects. So VBA is an object-oriented programming language. Now, why do we need macros? One may ask, Excel has so many functions. You can go to this side. On the site, you can go to the site and see that there are so many functions under Excel. But we are saying that we still need macros, or we still need VBA for that. The reason why we need VBA is that there are some activities that you need to repetitive tasks that you need to repeat it over and over again. With that, if you are going to use these functions or formulas here, your work will be tedious. So with the use of macros, it will help you to do that task easy and at a short period of time. That's why we need macros. Also, macros also help us to develop new formulas and functions. As I said, we have so many functions here, but if you want to develop a new function that will work on your Excel workbook, you can use macro. Good. And the one thing you must note is that there are other names for macros. Macros have different names. We have something we call subroutine. It's another name. So if you hear subroutine, if you hear me saying subroutine, it's same as what macros. That code, a piece of code, the same as what subroutine. We have procedure, the same thing. We also have program. It's a form of program. So a piece of code here can work as a program. So that's what we term as what? As macros. Now, when you talk of procedure or subroutine or programming, we have two types or two forms of what? of procedure in macros. We have the sub procedure, and we also have the function procedure. The sub procedure and the function procedure. Okay, so with the sub procedure, we are going to mainly, in this lesson, in the basis, we are going to make emphasis on the sub procedure, and later on we deal with the function procedure as we move further to the advanced. So with the function procedure, let me first of all explain the function procedure. It's a group of reusable code. It's a code that you can use it over and over again. So there are some activity or some tasks which you need to repeat it in your programming or your program or your system. With this function procedure, you can just call that function or necessarily writing the code over and over again, making your code too huge. So that's function procedure and function. So let me go to the developer tab and try to let me click on modules, and then it is how it starts. So we type end with, okay, it's better identify. Okay, so let's function new module. So let me identify it, new macro. Okay, so you see that the moment you enter the function, and this is the identifier, this is the object name. As I said, programming VB programming is object oriented, so this is the object name. So the function will work on this object. This was the new program, the name we are giving to the object is the new program. So the moment you hit on enter, it will end it with what? End function. So that is what? That is function for you. Okay, so the same way, so in between the function here and the end function, this is where the code will be. This is where the macros will be found. Then you also have another one, as I said, the sub routine or the sub procedure. With the sub procedure, it also start with sub. Then let's say the identifier or the object name. So the moment you hit on enter, it will also add it to end with end sub. So with sub, if there is no end sub, that means the code is not complete. So the coding should be in between the sub and the end sub. So as we move further, we have private sub, and public sub. So see that an example like this. Okay. Okay, so you have private sub user form. You can also have the public sub. For that one, that will be in advanced way. So don't tackle that. But that is all you need to know about sub routine and the function procedures. Okay, so when we're dealing with the interface, I forgot something. We have these two buttons here, three rather. The first one is the code. So if you want to view the code, let's say you have selected this object, this is the user form object here, I've selected it, and you want to see the code behind this user form, that's where you're going to click on this, so that the code screen will display. If you want to go back to your form, you just click on this to display the form for you. Okay, so that is it. And this one is the window, the folder that you're working in, folder where this file is created. So just click on it. So the last thing you're going to do in this lesson is to learn how to save. One thing you must note here is that if you are saving your work and your work contains macros, your work contains macros. So let's try to do some macros so that when you want to save, you get a prompt. So let me add something. Let's say, so I've tried to enter some simple code here, which will display Jolot Academy when we assign this macro to a tab or any activity here. Okay, so I want to show how to save a workbook that contains macros. If you are trying to, let's put this one, if you are trying to save this kind of workbook, it will prompt you that there's something you need to do. So let's go and save. Let's click on save here and see something. Okay, so you want to save. So let's go and save as where you want to save it. Okay, I have a folder here as training, so let me go and save it in that folder. So to save in Excel is not something new to us. That's why I'm not taking much of our time on that, but I just want to show you how to save it when you have macros in it. Okay, so let me use macros. Okay, now the moment you click on macros, you type the name here and the location where you want to save it. Then let's try to save it. You see a prompt message here. Now let's watch the save type. You see the save type is what? Excel workbook. That's the default. The default when you try to save without changing anything. That's the default. So let's try to save it and see something. You see that it's giving us a prompt message. It says, let's read. The following feature cannot be saved in the macro free workbook. That's so to save a file with this feature, click no. And then choose macro network. So you click no, then you come to the save as tab, then you click on it, then select Excel macro enabled workbook. So the moment you select that one, that means all the macros in it will start working for you. Just click on it, then you are good to go. So just click on it, then you click on save. The work will saved for you. So the moment you close this work and you want to open it for the first time, it will give you a prompt that you need to enable the content. That without enabling that content, the macros in it will never work. Okay, so I will end here, and in the next lesson we do more of macros. Thank you all and enjoy your day. Bye bye.